What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, and today we're going to be talking about NFTs in video games. That's right, microtransactions are bad enough, but I'm thinking about a future where I've got to pay 20 grand for a digital version of like a spoon to eat in a video game, and that does not sound like a vibe. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it.
I'm getting quiet now. Laying low when you reach zone vibing now. Making albums take the breath.
Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, obviously in the last year, NFTs have been talked about quite a bit. You know, whenever something comes out of nowhere and starts becoming worth a lot of value, it's going to attract a lot of attention. And that being said, a lot of people logically conclude that NFTs make the most sense in the video game world, and you know, everything's going to be NFT based. And I found an article that, you know, makes me feel a little bit better about the developers' feelings towards that. That being said, I think this article is a little too optimistic because it forgets the fact that while developers' opinions really matter, if the CEOs in charge of the companies are like, we don't care, put in NFTs because we're going to make a crap ton of money, their feelings about it don't really matter as much. Most game developers are not interested in NFTs according to survey reports. Obviously, surveys are about only as reliable as the survey itself. That being said, there's probably not much other data out there. And all in all, I do think it's a good thing that a majority of developers show that they're not interested in NFTs. I really do feel like it's got to be a balanced approach because, you know, if the CEOs had their way, yeah, you'd be paying $5,000 for every piece of DLC in an NFT collection. You know, you think Valorant makes a lot of money now off you buying their skins that are crazy expensive. Just wait till they get a 10% cut of like the $2,000 everybody has to pay to buy their skin. Obviously, not a lot of people would be buying their skin, you know, but I could see like a bunch of games with massive popularity changing a lot of their skins, DLCs over to NFT form. Just because the profit margins are so insanely large, you know? Think about it this way. If you can convince somebody to buy a picture that you already had made of like some game art, right? And they're gonna pay $2,000 in cryptocurrency to buy that. Well, you already had that art made because you had a bunch of art prepared for the game and promotional material. And it didn't cost a whole lot to upload the picture to the internet, so your profit margin is absolutely bonkers. You sell an NFT for $2,000, you know, what, $1,999 of it is profit? Less than that, obviously, but you get the example. According to a new survey, 70% of developers have little interest in using non-fungible tokens in their games. The annual State of the Game Industry report, which surveyed 2,700 game developers about their work, was released by the Game Developer Conference. What is your studio's interest in NFTs was one of the queries. 70% of respondents stated they were not interested, while 21% said they were slightly interested, and 7% said they were extremely interested, with only 1% of respondents saying they're already working on them. What is your studio's interest in cryptocurrencies as a payment tool? Another question stated. And the results were similar, with 72% saying they were not interested, 21% saying they're interested, 6% saying they're very interested, and 1% saying they're already using it. When asked about the possibilities of cryptocurrencies or NFTs in games, a few developers proclaimed it the future of gaming. However, a large majority of the respondents were opposed to both techniques, citing the possibility for scams, general monetization issues, and environmental consequences. Alright, so even if 7% of games switched over to using a bunch of NFTs and stuff, that's still quite a bit, you know, and obviously slightly interested could eventually lean over there. I think what's going to end up happening is a lot of the smaller developers, the mom and pop places, are going to focus a lot less on NFTs and more on just getting out a banger hit. But one thing that does concern me personally, you know, and I'm just an idiot reading gaming news, I'm not an expert, I think the mom and pop places have an incentive to not milk money with NFTs. But if you've noticed a trend, it seems like a lot of game studios keep getting bought up by bigger and bigger companies. And those bigger and bigger companies don't really care so much about, like, you know, we don't like people buying NFTs. Like I said, those huge companies, Activision, Microsoft, it's all about profit. It's all about quarterly revenue because it's about making the stock price go up. You don't have to like it, I'm just saying that's what they care about. So to them, yeah, all of a sudden being able to sell a picture of Master Chief or sell a picture of the Doom guy for like 50 grand, You do that enough times, you get enough people to buy your NFTs. That's a huge profit for basically no work that you have to put into it. I mean, obviously, you have to mint the NFT. You have to have a guy on file to, make them and understand them and all that. But all things considered, a company like Microsoft and how much stuff they own, they would be selling a crap ton of NFTs. That's the only thing that concerns me, even if a majority of developers don't like it. If they continue to be like conglomerated and development studios keep getting bought up by bigger and bigger companies, those big companies don't care, all right? They're gonna put them in their games because they know the profit margins are insanely large, and they also know that there's a portion of the population out there that would actually like it. Obviously not a large one. I think most of us agree that, I don't like the current state of microtransactions and DLC. I would not be hyped about everything being NFT'd and becoming more expensive. But the people that are out there on Twitter getting mad when people right-click and save their NFTs, bro, they'd be hyped. They'd be giving these gaming companies basically all their money to be a part of this crap. The research also included some favorable replies, such as, I believe this is going to be a big revolution in the way we think about digital products and equity. However, the vast majority of answers were unfavorable, with one developer responding, "It's beyond me how this hasn't been discovered as a pyramid scheme." Another person questioned, "Why do we need them? What is the value of incorporating these systems into the game? Who is this that is making use of these items? It appears the crowd is quite small." I would agree that the amount of people out there willing to drop giant bucks on NFTs is relatively small, but the thing is, with these digital items, you really don't have to do a lot of work to get paid over and over again. And listen, I don't want the world to turn into NFT land where everything's NFTized, whatever the verb would be of making something into an NFT. NFTized probably isn't it. Regardless, I don't want the world to turn into that. But if you think about this from a CEO's perspective that only cares about quarterly profits, I'm going to use Valve as an example. Valve had this genius idea of making a marketplace and then releasing skins you can buy and sell on the marketplace. Now, do most people spend $10,000 on a CSGO knife? No, probably not. That being said, are there people spending $500-$600 on CSGO knives? All the time. I used to be pretty involved in the CSGO skin economy back when, skin gambling was a thing. That's not something I'm proud of. It's just the truth. And I can tell you that, you can list a knife for, $400 or $500 and sell it within 4 hours on Steam. Now, that's not the exact same thing as an NFT, but what I will say is Steam also takes a cut of the transaction. They don't really do anything except host the marketplace and make the skin. That being said, if they're taking 6% of every $500 transaction or whatever it may be, they make a crap ton. And a lot of these NFT products have something about how, the developer gets a cut of each resell or whatever. So on top of making a bunch of money off selling it to the first guy, every time it continues to go up in value or get traded, you are going to make some fractional revenue. You do that enough times and you make a crap ton. Valve and Steam make a metric crap ton off the Steam market. And yes, sure, they invented the system, but at this point, they just kind of sit back, let the market run itself. The more expensive items get, the more they get paid because it's percentage based. And even if the items are small, they're still getting money off just hosting the marketplace. And this is what I'm saying when I'm saying it's good that 70% of developers don't want it, but I don't think big companies care. Literally, the end of this article is the reason why I'm so confident that, smaller companies probably won't do it, but it's happening with bigger companies. It just is what it is. Many gaming companies, notably Konami and Ubisoft, have already begun selling digital things as NFTs, though this has sparked criticism from some due to the format's enormous karma impact and what many view to be cynical implementation. Doom 2 allows players to NFT shoot. The most recent high-profile games publisher to exhibit enthusiasm about technology advancement was Square Enix. Xbox CEO Phil Spencer is concerned about the exploitative potential of NFTs. They own Square Enix. That being said, President Yosuke Matsuda promised to include blockchain and NFT games in the company's game portfolio in a New Year letter published during the holiday break. Sega registered a trademark for Sega NFT this week, while Troy Baker, a well-known voice actor in video games, announced a partnership with VoiceVerse NFT, which claims to let customers buy AI voices as NFTs that can be used in any game. Like I said, it's good the developers don't care, but Konami and Ubisoft, some pretty large games, and of course something owned by Microsoft, which, it doesn't surprise me that a lot of these things are starting to dabble. And especially with Square Enix, like Microsoft isn't going to come out and do NFTs on all of their studios, but they own like 700 of them. You know what I mean? So it's going to be implemented piece by piece. If Square Enix has a success and people love it and it makes a bunch of money, they'll probably do more. And you know, I know a lot of these mega studios don't have the best reputation. People aren't exactly jumping for joy at like Ubisoft or EA or even Activision and Blizzard at this point, you know? I'm not saying that, but let's be honest, we all play at least one game that they make in one way or another. Oh, you hate EA? That's crazy. You ever play Madden, you know? Or are you a fan of, what is it? Apex? Well, that's on the EA launcher, so, you know, I'm just saying, you're kind of giving them money one way or another if NFTs are involved. Oh, you don't like Microsoft? If you play anything from Activision or Blizzard, which you probably do, considering how much stuff they make, you're kind of screwed. You looked at everything else Microsoft makes, you're kind of screwed. Ubisoft, oh, any Siege players, Rainbow Six fans, you know? Oh, yep. Assassin's Creed? Oh, yeah, you are also not having the most fun time in NFT world if that continues. And listen, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying a lot of these big companies are unpopular. That being said, that also means they don't have too much to risk by trying the whole NFT thing. You know, EA is the most hated gaming company. They still break quarterly profits every quarter. If they add NFTs and get more hate and then make double the amount of money, guess what? They were hated before, they're making more money now. Obviously, you know, to a lot of us that wouldn't be worth it, but if you're just the guy in charge of the company getting paid $45 million a year to make the numbers go up, you don't really care that a lot of people on YouTube say that your company sucks. You know what I mean? I hope the world of everything being NFT mode and like having to pay a bunch and NFT everything doesn't come. That being said, I do think it's not a good sign that a lot of these major developers are looking into the technology and wanting to learn more about it. Because, yeah, the realities of the business world is that they're probably going to do it simply because it's insane profit margins, it's a recurring income stream, and they don't particularly care if gamers are too upset. And as much as most of us aren't going to go out there and spend $6,000 on NFTs for any game, we know someone will. Like, everybody knows the guy that's got $45,000 worth of skins in CSGO. Probably not that much, but you get the idea. And listen, I'm not against video game skins. Like I said, I used to have a bunch of CSGO skins. I still have some. I have Valorant skins. I'm not against it. That's what I'm saying, though, is like, I'm already paying money for nothing. Now I would be paying money for something that I could resell at a higher price maybe eventually. I don't know. I could see how a lot of dumb nerds would get on board with that. I'm never on board with buying some super crazy expensive NFT, but if all of a sudden all my Valorant skins turned into NFT form, I don't know how I'd feel about that. I'd probably be a little bit conflicted. All in all, I think the future is inevitably coming. Don't be surprised if one day you log in to like every game and it's like, oh, NFT, da-da-da, on the home screen, buy our NFT to get access to premium super level lobbies. I hope that doesn't happen. I'm just saying, usually when big companies start doing it and having good results, the rest of the industry tends to follow suit. Look at the way Tesla is making everybody go bonkers for electric cars right now. It just kind of tends to like follow a consistent trend, you know? I hope I'm wrong, but that being said, I just felt like talking about it. I thought this article was interesting. Hopefully the developers, you know, get a little bit more respect, but I do know as it currently stands, developers are constantly told that they need to work overtime, get put on projects that don't matter by CEOs. So I respect their opinion, and I know they're the real people making the game, but like, yeah, the reality is, you know, the developers at Activision trying to make Overwatch 2 had months of their time wasted by the CEO on stuff that they didn't think was important, you know? So if the CEO comes in and says, make an NFT or I'm not giving you your paycheck, there's a solid chance that they're gonna make it. And I'm not saying the CEO should act like that, by the way. You know, I'm not on their team here. I'm just saying, if somebody's like, okay, I need to make an NFT or my kids can't eat and I can't pay my mortgage, they're probably making the NFT and you can't blame them for that. If you really hate the idea of NFTs in your favorite video game, though, the best thing I can say is if they do put them in, you know, if they do, vote with your wallet, because if they don't make a lot of money, they won't keep doing it, you know? At the end of the day, they want to make profit go up. So if they put in NFTs and profits go down, chances are it's not going to be continue to be implemented that long. But that'll do it for the video. Let me know in the comments section down below what you think about NFTs in video games. Would you pay for them? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think I'm right and it's just kind of inevitable? If you disagree, let me know. I'm not an expert by any means, dude. Like, none of this was advice or anything. I'm just an idiot talking over gameplay. It's just what I think. But yeah, if you did enjoy, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Be sure to turn on notifications if you don't have it on already. That way you never miss another video. If you really want to help me out, I'll put a link to the intro song down below, along with the link to my podcast, The Scuffed Cast, or, of course, you could use code SCRUBBY at the G Fuel checkout. You get the best energy drink for gamers. It helps me out. So like I said, code SCRUBBY is a great way to get a discount over there. And the last link in the description is a link to my merch store. So if you want to get the coolest merch to ever exist, head on over there and do that. And yeah, on that note, that'll do it. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. And hopefully I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.